Hi, thank you so much for joining me today for another yoga flow. My name is Nicole, or Cole, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be taking a midday stretch, so a midday break. If you are someone who works from home, if you are someone with children and you find with yourself with just a couple moments where you maybe want to relieve some tension, release a little bit of tightness throughout the entire body, but you're short on time, this is the flow for you. I am going to go ahead and get started. There's going to be minimal cueing here, so we're just going to get right into it, starting in our tabletop posture. Okay, so I'm just going to flip over. Sound effects not required, but definitely add something. So tabletop, coming into tabletop, elbows over elbows, shoulders over elbows over wrist, pressing away from the mat, tops of the feet pressed into the mat as well. Nice, beautiful straight line all the way from the head down to the tailbone. And we're just going to take some cat-cow to start. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, big breath in. Exhale, round and contract. Good. Now, if you want to deepen this stretch just a little bit, you can bring the hands slightly more forward. And as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. You can send the hips back, which you'll really start to feel in the upper abdominals. And as you exhale to round and contract, really tuck that pelvis in, pressing forward, getting into the upper back. 3 more just like that. Feeling free to take any little organic movements that may feel good. Good, 2 more. Last one. Any popping or cracking noises are totally fine as long as they don't cause pain. Very good. Let's bring it back to a neutral tabletop. Left hand stays on the mat. Right hand shoots up on the inhale all the way up, looking up at it with our eyes up to our hand if we're able. Exhaling, threading that under the left hand, palm facing up, right palm facing up, right, resting the head on the mat. Left hand is going to come towards the top of the mat, trying to keep our hips nice and square. We're going to lift up onto our fingertips, walk our hand out and up as much as we're able to, and kind of press to lift open, bringing almost one shoulder on top of the other, really getting that side body stretch as we lean and press into that right hip. 3 deep breaths here. Good. On your next exhalation, lower the left hand to bring it right down in front of the face, press up, and we'll just switch sides. So right hand stays on the mat this time, left hand reaches up, take a look at it if you're able. Exhale, thread right under the right hand. Right hand reaches up towards the top of the mat, coming up onto those fingertips, pressing into the left hip once more. Trying to stack those shoulders or close to. 3 breaths. Very good. On the next exhalation, bring that hand directly in front of the face, pressing up to come back to, again, our neutral tabletop. This time, left knee and foot stays where it's at. Right foot comes and steps back. Let's get into a calf stretch a little bit here. You can choose to stay up or come onto your forearms. You can go ahead and feel free to play with this. Pressing into the heel, we're just going to do a simple little calf stretch here and hold for just a couple breaths. If you want, you can also kind of rock back and forth if that movement feels good. Pressing away from the mat, 1 more breath. Good. Take a nice deep inhale as you lift the back leg. Exhale, bend that knee, gaze up, hold just a moment. Kind of dropping the belly here, and on the next exhalation, guide that knee forward in between the hands. Feel free to adjust here. Send the left foot back, left knee back slightly. Hands frame the foot. You can use some blocks here if you'd like, or you can come up onto your fingertips, coming into a low lunge, melting this left hip into the mat. 3 breaths. Thinking of lifting and lengthening the crown of the head. good. Flush, keep the hands flush to the mat now. If you're on your fingertips, come back down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg coming into a runner's lunge here. And then you can step it back. Go ahead, take a little downward facing dog. Just 3 breaths here. So the hands are out further beyond the head. Let me move up a little bit here. If the heels aren't touching the mat, that's totally okay. When you're here, think of lifting your hips up towards the sky, pressing the chest down towards the mat, and with the eyes glancing down towards the toes. That's when you're really going to fall into nice alignment here. And you can, of course, feel free to paddle out the heels, get a little bit more movement in the legs. We're here for just 2 more breaths. Very good. And then on your next exhalation, let's come back down to our tabletop and do that little sequence on the other side. So left foot stays down, right foot stays down, left foot steps back, coming back into that calf stretch here, couple deep breaths. However way you took this on one side, feel free to take this the same way. Very good. Inhale to lift that back leg. Exhale to bend, drop the belly. Bringing that leg up as high as you can. Just 1 deep breath. Inhale, or exhale, sorry. 2. Step it between the hands, sliding that back leg just a little bit further back. Coming up onto our fingertips or blocks. Low lunge again. Very good. Bring the hands flush to the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, runner's lunge. Take a nice deep inhale as you step it back. Exhale, flow to your downward facing dog once more. Making any little movements that feel good here. 2 more breaths. Very good. And then from here, you're actually going to step your left foot a little bit more further up towards the mat with the left toes pointing towards the left side. Same with the right on the right side. Walk the hands in. You can bring a block here under your pelvis if you'd like as you come into your yogi squat. Palms come to touch, using the elbows to press the legs open, or if you want to stabilize yourself using the hands, you can bring them down to the mat. Breathing here. Very good. Let's bring the hands down back to the earth. You can remove the block if you're using one. Take a seat on the sit bone. And then let's just cross the legs, except we're not going to stack them. We're going to place one foot in front of the other. So whichever one you're placing in front, just keep that in mind. As we inhale, lift the hands up overhead. We're going to take the right hand. As we exhale, bring it down behind the back, and the left hand to the right knee, lifting up, lengthening, and looking over our right shoulder. 3 deep breaths here. Very good. Inhale, both hands up to center. Let's switch the arrangement. So the left foot is in front like the right was before. And then exhale, switch sides with the hands, looking over the left shoulder this time. Very good. Inhale back to center. Bring the palms to touch. All fingers down except your index and thumb. Bringing the chest forward towards the top of the mat, and exhaling hands down to heart center as you invite the feet, I'm sorry, not down to heart center, down to the toes, as you invite the soles of the feet to touch. Wrapping your hands around the feet, the toes, using your elbows to press into the legs. Last stretch here. Nice deep hip stretch, just a couple breaths. We're not taking a Shavasana in this class because this is supposed to be a midday break, and I don't really want to put you to sleep. So we're going to take about 3 to 4 more breaths in this posture and set an intention for the rest of the day as we hold. So just a one-word, simple intention for what we'd like the rest of our day to look or feel like. 2 more deep breaths as we focus on that intention. Maybe leaning a little bit more forward to deepen the stretch for this last round. Very good. You can inhale, lift up, come to any seated posture that is comfortable as we close our class by lifting hands up overhead and imagining in between our hands holding that one-word intention as we close palms to touch. Exhaling hands down to our heart center, where our intention and our practice and our work never leaves. Bowing forward, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for another flow. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye.